My name is Sally Gimmon, and I am the owner of The Trust Is You in a brand new podcast that is called Stop Paying Capital Gains Now. The reason I'm doing this is because I am an investor for real estate, and I do a little bit in crypto bot, and then I also have some options trading that I don't do myself. A friend of mine does it for me, where he gives me the first 25% and the rest of it. Now let me go over this because so many of you are in tax season and want to know how to save money easily. There are two different trusts. Both of them are Spendthrift trust. The first trust is a business trust. That's for all 1099 income. I have online businesses, 3 of them. Sally Soul Silver, Silver Coins, woohoo! That's part of the trust. That's part of the beneficial trust. Novatech and Excess Elite Online Education. I get paid that way. My brother, who has a brewery, that's in the business trust. My sister-in-law, who has a landscape design, that's in the business trust. Now, with the beneficial trust, that's the second trust. The beneficial trust saves you on deferring some of the taxes. Both the beneficial and the business trust saves you in 3 separate ways. It saves you on federal taxes, keeps your information 100% private, and will keep you from being sued. 3 very important things. Now, 97% of the trusts out there are just like what my mom and dad had, and is to avoid going to court when someone passes away. That's called a family trust. This trust, like my parents have this, my father died in November 2021. When I do his taxes for 2022, the trust ends, I have to disperse everything. That's 97% of the trusts out there. The trust I'm talking about now is the exact same trust that the Rockefellers have. It is patented, it's done by attorneys, that is patented, and it's legal. Now, the full name for both the business and the beneficial trust, if you're ready for this, the full name is the Irrevocable, Complex, Discretionary, Non-Grantor Spendthrift Trust. Quick definition so y'all know what I'm talking about. Irrevocable goes from generation to generation. Again, my parents' trust finishes because my dad died. My mom died first, my dad died second. Irrevocable goes from generation to generation. The Rockefellers are in the 7th generation of their trust. Hopefully my trust will get that far. Irrevocable, complex. Complex means this trust can hold money month to month, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, and doesn't have to worry about dispersing everything. When I finish my dad's paperwork for his passing away, his trust is finishing this year, 2023. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary. Whoever is a trustee, trustees, or the person in charge of the trust can make the rules. I do have a husband and wife in California. They have 5 apartment buildings doing very well with the rent rolls through the beneficial trust. Their daughter is involved with drugs and alcohol. For her to live rent-free in one of their apartments, they're requiring her to do 4 random drug tests a month. She took them to court. When the judge saw this, he goes, you have a choice. Either you do the drug test and live rent-free, or you move out. Your choice. So again, irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor. This makes the trust so private. You're going to use someone who will never be a beneficiary, and I highly suggest someone who you do not invest with because, sometimes those things can go sour. They're going to sign up for the trust and sign away from the trust. I used a family friend. His name was I need to choose better than that because he had to sign his name for both the business trust and the beneficial trust. Unfortunately, Roy had arthritis of the hands, and it was a little bit painful for him. But he was very open about doing this. He knows what the 2 trust names are. He knows they're based in Texas because that's where the law firm I write on behalf of is in Texas. So even though I've moved 4 times since starting these trusts, I don't have to update the address because the attorneys know where I am. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, and then the last one, Spendthrift. This has gone in front of the Supreme Court twice to say that this is a legal entity and can enter into businesses on the behalf of enter businesses as a spendthrift. Now, this is very important because many of you out there think you're okay with your LLCs, your S Corps, and your C Corps. You're not okay. Those are statutory laws. Those are not contract laws. Statutory laws can change at any time. Also, it's at state level, not at federal level. Both the business trust and the beneficial trust are on the federal level. Now, some people are like, well, I don't really need this. This trust, I'm going to be honest, it's a very specialized trust. It is written in tax code 6 643B, like boy. 643B. Most CPAs work in the 300 and 400 tax levels. This is very high in the tax code up here. Now, just a quick crazy fact for y'all. I was an English Lit major at University of Maryland because I had to graduate. I kept changing my major. So I heard this, think of all Shakespeare's works. You know, you got Romeo and Juliet, you go As You Like It, you have Midsummer Night's Dream, all these different works. This is Shakespeare's work. The U.S. tax code is 10 times the amount of Shakespeare's work. The tax code's huge. So, I don't know anyone who's memorized it. I have a friend who's memorized chunks of the Bible. I can't do that. But still, the tax code's even bigger than that. So again, this is a very specialized trust. It is written in the tax code correctly. It does have a patent on it. So you can't give this to somebody else, and somebody else can use this too. So very important. Now, what I do want to go over again, both trusts are going to save you on federal taxes, going to keep your information private, and keep you from being sued. 3 very important things. The business trust, just one more time to explain this. The business trust is for real estate agents' commissions. It's for my life insurance commissions. It's if you're selling online products or affiliates or online marketing. If you're doing anything getting paid 1099. To be honest, if you have a W-2 income, this trust will not help you. I have at least 6 people who are still working. Most of them are teachers. This is kind of interesting. A lot of teachers are work with real estate. And so I have 4 teachers who have this trust. Everything they're doing with the real estate, fixing and flipping, wholesaling, short-term rentals, goes to the trust. What they're getting paid from the county or the city or anything else, that has to stay out of the trust because there's taxes on that. 2 of my teachers, one retired at the end of the 2022 school year, and another one of my teachers is going to retire at the end of this school year, 2023. Their pensions will always stay out of the trust. So just to give you an idea, there's a distinction, very much a distinction on what goes into the business trust and what goes into the beneficial trust. The reason that you want to work with me is you have an entire team behind you that will help you answer these questions. It's not just fly-by-night, hey, let's just do this. So that's a business trust. So just to give you an idea, I do business in there. So does my brother and sister-in-law. Now the beneficial trust. This is something I'm going to read straight from my notes. So please forgive me for reading this. This is IRS tax tip 200329. This is coming from the IRS. This is almost everything you own and use for personal purpose, pleasure, or investment is a capital asset. Can we be any broader? That's almost anything. Hey, those comic books up in the attic, those baseball cards, my mom's Balik, my mom's Waterford, things like that. So this is what the federal government is saying. Now, I want to go over what capital gains are so you understand this. There's a difference between short-term and long-term. Short-term capital gains is up to a year. Currently, that's 23.8% on any profit. So if you sell a baseball card for $100, you're going to pay $23.80 because of having that. Actually, I'm lying to you because the baseball card's going to be long-term. So my property, my real estate, when you see if you go up to thetrustisisyou.com and download the slides, everything I do with real estate right now is short-term capital gains because I'm wholesaling, I'm stopping auctions, things like that. So currently it's 23.8%. Here's something really scary that people do not know. Back in November 2021, there were 2 major bills passed by Congress. One was for transportation and the other one was for infrastructure. In one of the bills, there's 2 lines there that says they're going to raise capital gains up to 40% for people making more than $400,000 a year. Yikes, that's a lot of money. You're a smart investor and you're going to pay the government 40% of your profits? That's a lot of money. I'm not at that $400,000 level yet, but I plan to be. I'm working my butt off to get there. So this is why I want to tell you about this. So that's short-term capital gains. Long-term capital gains, you hold something longer than a year. So going back to the baseball knowledge, what I told you about, this would be long-term capital gains. You're selling a business. I'm working with business brokers. So if you're selling a pizzeria, a car wash, Schwann's Home Delivery, long-term capital gains are either 15% or 20% on the sale of that business. One-time charge by the federal government, they want their money. Lots and lots of money. I'm just helping a gentleman tomorrow. He's going to be selling an abandoned Taco Bell down in Alabama. The plans are, the starting bid on it is $900,000. He's going to make quite a bit of money. He's going to take out all the depreciation. He's going to take out the charge for the business broker, things like this. But he's still going to save quite a bit of money. He's going to save over, we figure about $97,000 just for that one deal. He's also a real estate investor on the side. He's got some rent rolls coming through too. So we're going to help him even more. So then that's capital gains. Short term, 23.8%, that could go up to 40% or will go up to 40% sometime soon. And then long term, 15 or 20%. Now capital gains is anything you sell at a profit. I keep talking about that I'm a real estate investor. I know some of you are out there saying, I can use a 1031 exchange. Be my guest. I'm not telling you not to use it. But with a 1031 exchange, there are very specific timelines and very specific steps you must do to be able to defer those capital gains. You have 80 days to put your property up for sale and find a third party, and then 160 days to sell all the capital gains into another property. By law, and I know some of you are going to fight me over this, but this is what I'm reading from the IRS, so give me a break on this. It's like property for like property. So if you have raw land, you got to buy raw land. You have a single family home, you got to buy a single family home. You're doing an apartment building, you got to do an apartment building. Why have the headache and the worry? And you got to pay for that third party person too. You just use the Spendthrift Trust and you're okay. One of my clients, not making fun of them, a husband and wife, she's 72, he's 74, they're in Florida. They had this fantastic house that got at auction in Tampa Bay. They weren't living in it, it was a rental. They fixed it up, they bought it for $300,000, they put $100,000 in it, sold it for $1.2 million. Congratulations. I don't want to even use her name because she's one of my referrals here. Congratulations, that's $600,000 that they did with that is in the trust from the profit for that. She's 72. She doesn't want to have another rental. She went into a REIT, a real estate investment fund for apartment buildings, and making money every single month off the rent rolls on that, all through the trust, not paying taxes. So again, for real estate, if you're wholesaling, fix and flipping, buy and hold, short-term rental, long-term rental, you're in a real estate REIT or anything like that, your properties would be in the trust. And then you would get the profit coming from that in the trust. When the property is sold, whatever happens, it's in the trust name, and then you get to avoid all those taxes. You're asking what taxes in the beneficial trust? That's a good question. Beneficial trust is going to defer capital gains, 23.8% for short term, 15 or 20% for long term. It's going to defer interest income. I do notes where I'm the mortgage on the bank, I'm the mortgage on the house, and people pay me their rent. That's that, or the BRRRR strategy have interest income. Dividend income. I don't care if you've got a stock portfolio or what you're doing. Rent rolls. So again, if you've got short-term rental and the rent rolls are going through the trust, you're going to be avoiding the taxes on those rent rolls. And finally, royalties. Very interesting. I have 2 songwriters who have royalties, country western songwriters. Now I've got more than 2 songwriters. I also have NFTs. One of my clients, she did an experiment before Christmas. Fantastic experiment. She did a poster, sold it in Meta World for $1,000. It sold very quickly, so she did 1 of 100. Good for her. The first one is a sale, is a 1099 sale, and then 2 through 100 is a royalty because it's off of that first one. So she sold each one of those 100 artworks for $1,000 a piece. The majority of her money went through the trust and she saved taxes on that. Congratulations to her. Now, when you do go to the Trust Is You and download the slide deck that's there, you're going to see all my information from 2021 and the first 6 months of 2022. Just to prove to you how I am saving money. How I got involved with this trust was back in July of 2020, I bought a bank-owned reverse mortgage for $20,000. Yay, Sally. The bank said to me, when COVID was over with, July 2020, when COVID was over with, the courts opened and the auctions opened again, it had to sell for $50,000. Yay, Sally. I knew I was going to make $30,000 in capital gain, $30,000 in profit on that house. I also knew it was going to be over $7,000 in capital gains. I went down the rabbit hole. I went down to figure out how to do this. There's several different places you can go to research, things like this. I found a law firm that does this. I'm a representative of the law firm. It's a private law firm in Texas, and I'm a representative of this law firm. So I got this trust in July of 2021. We didn't start it until November of 2021. When the trust was done, I did 2 bills of sales. I said on November 15th, 2021, my LLC sold 1011 Hayman Street in Rocky Mount, North Carolina to me for $1. Second bill of sales said on November 15th, I, Sally Gimmon, sell 1011 Hayman Street, Rocky Mount, North Carolina to the trust for $1. Printed both of them up. I got both of them notarized. I was living in Phoenix. I scanned them and sent them to the attorneys in Raleigh, North Carolina. My house is in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That's Nash County for those of you who want to know about this. The attorneys got my email. Next day I get an email back saying, we need the first page of your trust. Easy peasy. I scanned it, sent it to them. They had all this information. Everything was done November 16th, 2021. The house did not go to auction until August 28th, 2000. I'm making up numbers. November 2020, the house went to auction August 28th, 2021. I'm sorry, I gave you all the wrong numbers before. It's 2020 and then 2021. The house went to auction and it sold for $64,329. Because the house was in my trust, I made an extra $10,550. And I saved, yay Sally, I saved over $10,500 on that one transaction. One transaction, $10,500. That's a lot. My first 6 months of 2022 are in the slide deck too. I'm wholesaling houses here in North Carolina in 3 different counties. You'll see that information. So far, the first 6 months of 2022, I saved over $32,500 again. I am saving quite a bit of money. Just in the slides alone, that's over $50,000 with one trust in 18 months. It keeps paying you back over and over again. Yay, Sally. Investing. Again, there's some information there. I'm staking $1,000 a month, making 30%. Not a huge amount of money. I have a crypto bot. Not a huge amount of money, making about $32 a day. I'm in Novatech. I put $500 in. I'm getting compounded interest rate every single Friday. It's growing. When I take the money out of Novatech, that's when I pay the capital gains. And if it goes as well as I think it does, thank you, Novatech. You just gave me 3.9% last Friday. Woohoo! That's the highest yet. That when it comes out, that I will defer those capital gains into infinity and beyond because of the Spendthrift Trust. The trust owns my account at Novatech. This is a key for me there. If you're a day trader, Forex, options, stock market, anything like that, this is going to help you too. It's when you take the cash out. Now, here is something I need to let you all know. This is very important. Last Monday, a week ago, the IRS changed the 1040 tax return. You need to hear this because it's important. On the tax return is a yes-no question. Did you make any money in crypto or NFTs? If you answer no and they find out you really did, they can come after you with penalties. When you answer yes, it opens up about 9 other questions and they're asking about this information. If you have this trust, you don't answer that question. The trust files a 1041 tax return. And if you have nothing else, if you only have this trust and everything is in it, like I do have 2 LLCs still in Arizona, so I have to file state taxes there. But I only file a federal tax return. I don't file North Carolina tax returns now that I live here in North Carolina. I don't exist in North Carolina. The trust owns my car. The trust pays for my gas. The trust pays for my health insurance. The trust pays for everything. Now, 3 keys for the beneficial trust that does not pay for. It does not pay for your food, fun, and fashion, just like your LLC. If you're traveling, yes, it does. So you got to figure this out. I have 2 different debit cards, one for the business trust, one for the beneficial trust. So when I'm shopping at Walmart for food, I have to use the business trust because I have money coming in through that. If I'm at Walmart buying a new pair of sneakers, like I did this weekend, I could use my I lied to you. That's still fashion. I had to use my business trust. When I was at Walmart this weekend and paid for an oil change, that's what I'm trying to get to, an oil change at Walmart, that was the beneficial trust because the beneficial trust owns my car. Now, not to get you completely confused, but to give you some idea how you can get some money out of this. When I officially put my car into the trust back in August of 2022, I didn't register in my name, I registered in the trust's name. So when I registered, I will help you do this, but it's Exhibit B. I had to say, here's a VIN number, vehicle identification number, year, make, and model, and how many miles are on the car. And I gave it to the state of North Carolina. They said, yes, the trust owns it. Because the trust owns it, it paid for the registration, paid for the windshield. I failed inspection because of my windshield. It pays for gas. It paid for the oil change, everything else. So again, I'm just trying to save as much money as possible. With the royalties, authors, and NFTs. I have a client who has oil wells on his property. Congratulations. I have another client, kind of an interesting story. Her granddad bought 3 acres in Oklahoma, and back in like 1930, and they had the mineral rights to the land, and they're making quite a bit of money off of that. So they have the trust. The rights to sell the trust to other people is a royalty. When you download the slides, I'm not telling you have to read these books, but I honestly believe the 6 inches between your ears is very important. 2 favorite books that I highly suggest y'all read. Number 1 is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. The reason I am doing this is because, I'll be honest, I used to do a presentation every Thursday in my real estate group. Had a falling out with the gentleman. His last words to me was, "You'll be nobody without me." And I'm like, oh, come on, I don't wish you ill will. You lied, not me. You lied. Also, I'm going to do this under the bus. Grant Cardone sells the exact same trust only to his $100,000 entries for $50,000. That's a lot of money. That the Science of Getting Rich says there's plenty out there to help plenty of people. I am not anti-government. I served my 2 years in the Peace Corps because I have bad eyesight. I can't go into the military. I love being an American citizen, but I want to help as many people as possible to save money. My poster child, he says, I'm going to be your poster child. My friend Kelly is a retired preacher from New Hampshire, moved to Arizona. Yes, I started everything in Arizona. I have to apologize. On Super Bowl Sunday of 2021, he went to the door knocking on the house for the 4th time. He caught the grown daughter just about to leave to go back to LA County. Her dad had died. The house was behind. It was going to auction March 1st. They were able to sign the contract, able to work things out. Got her some money, she was driving in 1997, I want to say Honda Accord. They got her father's 2020 car. She got some money too. Kelly wholesaled the house for $50,000. Kelly knows exactly about what he has to do for capital gains. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my calculator up there because I want to give you right numbers because I hate giving people incorrect numbers and I can't think right now while I'm doing live. So he sold it for $50,000. Yay, Kelly. He knew about capital gains and he thought he'd have more houses under contract. When he did his taxes, he found out he had $11,900 tax bill for the IRS. He's on a payment plan right now. He's driving Uber 6 nights a week because he has a $990 monthly bill to the IRS because of capital gains. I talked to a lot of people around the country, and they all are telling me horror stories. With somebody I just talked to last week, back in her first property deal in 2014, she made $20,000. It took her 5 years and $7,000 to pay off the money on that because of penalties and everything else. So again, I'm trying to help you. I'm going to be honest. The trust, you're setting up a legacy for your family. It sounds like a lot of money, but once you start doing more and more real estate and start putting things into the trust, your privacy is important, and then not paying capital gains are important. If you need to reach out to me, when you go to the trustisyou.com, you can download my slides for free. The last slide is going to have my information. It's going to have my cell phone number. If you get a message saying I'll call you back later, I'm on a Zoom. I'm on Zoom quite a bit, so I have a thing. But it's going to have the email address to contact me. And then I also do a live every Monday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time, where I go over the slide deck and then open it up for questions, because there are some amazing questions people come up with, and it's kind of interesting to have interactions. If you don't want to be a group situation, set up a one-on-one at thetrustisyou.com to do that. If you have any questions, again, my name is Sally Gimmon. The website is thetrustisyou.com. And now my new podcast is Stop Paying Capital Gains Now. NOW is capitalized, exclamation mark. It's on iTunes, it's on Buzzsprout, everything else. Please go out and listen to it. If you do, please like it, because it's a brand new podcast. I'm trying to do a little bit more on that. But I want to say thank you for listening to this and watching this. If I can help you save money on your federal taxes legally with a patented trust, reach out to me and we can talk about things, because I just want to help as many people as possible, because I'm saving money. Hopefully you can save money. I'm going to shut this off because I don't know how to do lives, but take care. Bye-bye.